What is up, pleasure babies? Oh, I'm pleasure baby. Why do I call you guys my pleasure babies? No, you guys are my babies. I'm the pleasure baby.
What is up, my babies? Happy motherfucking Monday.
What is up, my babies? On this week's episode, we are gonna talk about stress and sex and how stress directly affects your sex life. Because we all know when we tend to get stressed out, our libido goes down. So what are some ways that we can actually avoid hitting that low to no libido when we are stressed? And what a perfect time to discuss this while we were in the middle of a motherfucking pandemic. No matter where you are in the world, you are experiencing some sort of pandemic stress. But there are 100 different types of stresses in your life that will happen when there is no pandemic, when all this shit's over. I'm gonna tell you 5 different ways to bring back your sex drive when you are stressed out. But before we get started, if you are new here, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because every single Monday evening, 8 p.m. Central Time is when I drop my latest and newest video, and it's always gonna be taboo, baby. And then I'm gonna take this moment of silence. And that's about all you're gonna ever get from me, because my ADHD is fucking wild, and that is as quiet as I will ever be because I have a million things running through my head. But I wanna say thank you so much for 10,000 subscribers. I am feeling really great, and this is exciting. And my boyfriend and I, we're gonna celebrate with a bottle of champagne, even though moments before I started filming this video, I actually cleared his whole camera of his YouTube video that he had not even put on his computer yet. And there's no recently deleted folder, so it is gone forever, and I officially have the worst girlfriend of the year trophy. Looks like I'm just gonna have to surrender my freaking soul. RIP that, you know, like, I just fucking somebody help me through the camera because I feel awful. But we gotta make this video really, really good and talk about stress and sex, so let's fucking get at it. So we've all been there before. You know, when you're so stressed, you don't wanna have sex, and the thought of having sex is stressing you out. Funny how that works, hey? However, we tend to forget that sex can actually help your stress. When we are stressed, our body releases this hormone called cortisol. Now, cortisol can be good for controlling your metabolism. However, when it is not being used in the best way, it's normally released in a stressful situation. So it throws your body into a flight or fight scenario, let's say. And when your body is going through that fight or flight moment and you're living in it for the next 24 hours, or maybe you're stressed for a whole month, that can take a huge toll on your body. And when you're in flight or fight mode, your libido is the last thing on your mind. And that is exactly why our bodies just suppress it, and then we go inward and we're not having that sexual interaction with ourselves or that sexual experience with our partner. And that can be detrimental to our relationship. And another thing that happens when you're stressed out is your line of communication kind of fizzles. It's not just your sex life that goes, it's your communication. Maybe you're arguing a lot more. You can't agree on certain things. Maybe you start smoking more weed, or you start drinking, or you're not coping properly. There are different things that can happen to your relationship when you are stressed. So it's really, really important to be aware of how long you're stressed for, and if these are natural life stressors, or if these are stressors that you can change by doing something different in your life. But that's just like a little bit of a rundown on how stress can actually impact your body. Now let's talk about those feel-good love hormones called endorphins that we release when we are love making. And the love making one is oxytocin. So if you watch my orgasms video, you'll hear me talk about oxytocin and how it's the love hormone that gets released, and especially gets released when you're hugging. So starting your day off with a hug with your partner and then ending the day with a hug with your partner is really great for your relationship. It's almost like your hormones are feeding off of each other, and your endorphins are having babies, and you're having sex without actually having sex. Now, it might not feel as good as an orgasm, but hugs feel fucking phenomenal when you are nice and snug in with your partner. And there's no denying that. If you don't like hugging your partner, then I'm sorry, you might not actually be with the right person, because hugging's great. Now, it's not just when you're having a sex with a partner, it's also with your self-pleasure. Obviously, these same hormones and these same endorphins are being increased and released. So that oxytocin that we were just talking about there, that also gets released during your masturbation session. So, I mean, hey, if you don't have a partner and you don't have a hookup buddy, then feel free to masturbate when you're stressed, because those increase of endorphins and the increase in oxytocin is gonna help lower those cortisol levels and level you back out. So as much as you don't necessarily want to go and have sex when you're stressed, maybe it's something to consider. And if you're not looking to engage with your partner or with a play partner, then you should just try it on yourself, because if it doesn't work out, you can put it away, or you can take your hands away and then try something different instead. These are just a few things that I incorporate into my everyday life to kind of help me with my stress and my anxiety. So one is my diet and my fitness. So I go to the gym, I would say 6 days out of the week, and I do hypertrophy workouts, trying to build some muscles, trying to build some guns, some shoulders, some legs, some booty. You know, that's my jam. That's where I get out a load of my stress. But I also don't eat entirely like crap. Like, of course, I love to have a little bit of junk food here and there, but for the most part, my diet is pretty well balanced. And fuck, I have a fitness influencer as a boyfriend, so he keeps me in check the best that he can. Obviously, I do the grocery buying at my place, so if there's chocolate here, chances are it's not him, it's mine. Now, one of my favorites to do with my partner and I is a mutual masturbation session. This is not only a pleasurable experience, it's a learning experience, and it is a practical source of pleasure when you have to get up for work the next day or where you have a place to be. You both know you can get it done as fast as you can, but you guys can still learn and enjoy each other's company, and it's fucking hot. I had mentioned breath work, and breath work I absolutely love, and I stop multiple times throughout the day when I'm starting to feel a little bit anxious, because I am an anxious person. I will stop and I will take really deep breaths. I'll do anywhere between 5 to 7 to 8 breaths, and I will see how I feel. And usually by the time I have taken those breaths, my body has relaxed. Before you go into a session or a play session with yourself or with a partner, you can really set the mood of your body and bring yourself back down into it if you just focus in on your breath. And that is something that I absolutely love about meditation, because meditation allows your mind to be at ease and for you to come into tune with your body and your breath and how everything is moving and functioning. Speaking of meditation, I actually use this fucking bomb ass app called HeadSpace. Now, this video is obviously not sponsored by this company because they are a huge app brand and they have amazing guided meditations, anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes to freaking an hour 45 minutes. There's some awesome stuff on there. I really encourage you to check it out, especially if you're a high-strung person or you're looking just to bring yourself back down and connect with your body. I really honestly recommend this for people that can't achieve orgasm, because a lot of the time I find myself blocking my own O's, and it's not because I'm distracted, it's because I'm worried about what I'm feeling. So if I stop and I take some of those deep breaths, I can use my breath work and my meditation to bring myself back into my body. And HeadSpace has allowed me to do that. So if you haven't tried this fucking app, do so. It has changed everything for me, and it's only been like 3 months, which is fucking wild. To avoid that end of the day fatigue where your sex just gets skipped or forgotten about, it's called fuck first. So if you're gonna go on a date, fuck before your date, so you can come home and cuddle and watch your movie, or maybe go for another round 2, whatever it might be. Now, this is something that I need to get better at, because for some reason I like having sex with my partner at night, and he's always wanting to go midday, morning, whatever it might be. Yeah, sometimes I'm game for the morning, but ideally I would like to do a nighttime fuck. But to be honest, sometimes I just don't have the energy, and that's totally fine. So this is something that is on me for manipulating our kind of sex time, and that is okay to do, because that brings me to my next thing. So sex doesn't get forgotten about when you are stressed, and it's actually planning your pleasure time. So I don't plan with my partner, but now I'm thinking to kind of bring our sexual activities into the midday. For example, if I know I start work at 2 o'clock and I don't get home until 8 p.m. and I'm not gonna wanna have sex after a full day of work, then realistically, I should be trying to fuck my boyfriend between 11 and 1. Because that would be my prime time for having probably the best non-stressful sex. So if I can give myself kind of like a guideline on where to fit it into the day so that it doesn't get forgotten about, then I will. Because I'd rather have sex with him than not have sex with him at all. And I bet you're thinking the same thing. And when you're stressed out, sometimes sex just gets forgotten about and put on the back burner. So it's nice to have a slot throughout the day that you know that the option is there for sex. You don't always have to partake in that every single hour. It's not an actual D appointment. Honey, you can figure that out for yourself. And my last tip would be to finally find time throughout the day or at the end of the day to unplug and really tune in and connect with your partner. Whether that be just having a simple hangout session where it's like we're gonna go on a walk, a bike ride, maybe we're gonna sit here and have a conversation, like a solid deep conversation. Maybe we're gonna play some games together. Whatever we are doing in that time, we are not going to be on our phones or watching TV. It's actual quality time. And that will kind of help build your sexual desire too. So I hope these tips did help you out. I know I just used reference from my life and things that I have incorporated to help me through all the stressful times that we are currently going through right now. Then you don't get left behind sexually and your partner doesn't get left behind sexually. And if you ever feel like you don't want to do something, please do not be afraid to communicate that over to yourself and to your partner. You don't ever need to force yourself to masturbate or to maybe have sex with somebody. If you're not into it, please speak up and say something, because you should never be forced into something that you do not want to do or enjoy yourself. So if you enjoyed this video or you think it helped even the slightest little bit, give this video a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe, babies. Okay, I love you guys. I will see you next Monday, and I promise, and the next video will be way more bomb than this one, because my ADHD ass is fucking all over the place today. So I'm gonna have a great time editing this.